Hi again everyone, I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance, and this resistance video is a sponsored video being sponsored by Catherine for Anonymous, and this is Anonymous' story. Hi Ollie, I'm broken, hoping you can find a sponsor for this video. This isn't holiday or family related, but it is a topic I think everyone can relate to, and I really need some advice going forward. If you can get a sponsor, I'll pay it forward in the future at some point soon, I hope. I really value your opinion on this topic in particular, especially since you have a deep understanding in relation to the corporate world of narcissists and their inability to properly hire normal staff and managers. So here it goes. A few months ago, I started working for a corporate coffee shop that everyone knows by name. The difference is that this one is a licensed store, meaning an umbrella corporation was able to buy into the business and franchise it out, as this company does not license itself out to sole proprietors, only other corporations. This coffee shop was being ran, at least at the store level, in a very good way by the manager we had at the time. Upon opening a new location downtown where I live, a whole new bunch of staff were trained at my store, and our manager was being transferred over to open up this new store, and a new manager was hired on to take over our store. She was in relation somehow to the owner, I think friend's daughter to the owner. She went through training with the new hires, and 2 days before the grand opening of this location, the old manager sent off an email quitting last minute and sending everything spiraling into chaos. The manager for our store ended up helping open the new store, etc., leaving myself and one other person scrambling for weeks to keep our store together. Now, I've worked in cafes my entire working life. I know it's what I know best. I sent off my resume to the owner saying, hey, if you need someone to take on our store because the manager you hired is staying at the new store, let me know. I worked my ass off those 2 weeks, and you know it. He promoted the assistant manager for the new location to manager and brought in his original hire for our store, back to our store. I hope this is making sense. Well, you know those situations of if it's too good, then it probably is, right? If it's too good to be true, then it probably is, right? Well, that's what it was. This girl came back to our store and made it like she was mature and made out like she was mature, could handle the responsibility, had it all figured out. She would have our schedule up weeks in advance. She would get the store organized and get us back on track. I'm sure you know where this is going. 2 months in and it's a fucking nightmare. No schedule in advance, no organization, accusations of theft, doesn't put the time in, expects everyone else to hold her hand and do her job for her. In the last few weeks, I spent many sleepless nights trying to figure out what to tell the owner because I don't want him to think my concerns are promotion driven. They're legitimate and valid concerns. I reached out to a few people who have been in contact with this manager and relayed my concerns, to which more concerns were discovered, and in some cases she was flat out lying and not doing her job. This has really been hard for the rest of the staff who come in to do their job and go home, but instead find themselves in a perpetual state of chaos. I believe one of these people related their concerns to the owner, and eventually last week I did too. However, the email I sent wasn't read, or so he says, when we sat down for a face-to-face meeting yesterday about tension and issues in the store. The owner basically said he doesn't do emails and texts about issues. He likes to sit down with everyone and be the solutions guy. He then went on to say that he was 90% sure this was all a communication issue, even though he didn't take the time to read my email and address any of the operational concerns. And you are putting too much time into a coffee shop job that you're the staff on. This is how they run. This is how retail runs. Okay, when somebody says they want to sit down and try to talk, they're not going to do anything. And what I found is complaining in any type of corporate structure, they don't want complainers. They want everybody to just keep their mouths shut. They don't care about internal chaos. You know why? Because at the end of the day, people are still going to come in and buy coffee. The dirty secret with retail is it has very, very little to do with with anything other than the economy, whether it succeeds or fails. You can complain about it, but if you're the closest coffee shop, people are still going to go there. And they know that. Especially a corporate location has very little to do at this point with any of the factors of the people inside, unless barring rats and, feces on the wall and things like that, obviously. But general chaos, they're going to make their money, and they could care, and the management could care less. Corporations, when they got to solve conflict, that's potential for lawsuit. So the people who complain are the ones deemed the troublemakers, because they're the ones that are going to upset the apple cart and possibly get you sued in their minds. None of the staff who trained with this girl likes her. She doesn't do her job and hands her workload to us while complaining about how no one helps her, and she's been set up to fail, even though I've been busting my ass for months doing her job for her, and she doesn't even notice that I've been picking up behind her. That's how out of touch this girl is. There are processes in place for her to follow, but as of right now, our roles should be reversed. The owner in this meeting, without reading the email I sent him, somehow expected that I would just lay all my concerns out there without thinking maybe my concerns weren't just of communication or misunderstanding, nor that if I aired some of these grievances, I could jeopardize my hours going forward. And in fact, some of the concerns even included loss of revenue on his part due to the price increases not being done or merchandising. He doesn't care about any of this. He's sitting you down so you will shut up. He don't care. The revenue losses isn't enough for him to care about. She doesn't do our orders on time, and she fucked up my payroll last week, and I haven't been paid yet. Most of our meeting was addressing this point alone and not even getting to the meat of the actual issues. Not that I would even know how to go about telling them that he hired this girl. This girl he hired is a pathological liar and just simply isn't doing her job. Right in front of her, maybe I should have. To top it all off, she uses her children as an excuse to leave all the time, only to find out they're not her children. They're her boyfriend's children, and she's only been dating him for 5 months. The list goes on, but you catch the drift, and my biggest issue has been taking on roles and ownership I'm not getting paid for. Then don't. Then don't. Why are you taking on a narcissist's responsibilities for them? Don't. And why would you want to get promoted in a place that treats you like this? You want to work directly for this guy? Come on. What if the next person gives you, as the manager gives you a problem, then he's going to do the same thing? The list goes on, but you catch my drift, and my biggest issue has been taking on roles and ownership that I'm not getting paid for, sharing responsibilities that aren't in my job description, and this girl who's become abundantly clear isn't going to do her job and needs her hand held. I can't quit this job as I need it right now, because trust me, walking out after our meeting and not finishing my close was definitely in the forefront of my mind. But this girl has the blinds shut on the owner, but everyone else can see it. I'd still be looking for a new job. In the meantime, I have to deal with her and her inability to perform her job in any capacity, which makes my life hard as her supervisor who has to pick up the pieces for the rest of the staff and ensure they aren't going to just jump ship on me, although that's what's needed. The girl has every excuse in the book, from technology failing her to her kids to us not communicating with her, even though now I'm taking pictures and saving text, to how we're not taking ownership. She's one of those who uses big words and talks up a big game, but can't deliver up anything more than shit on a beautiful sparkly platter. My question is, how do you even go about dressing something like this? Right now, the response to me has been, well, if you don't want to be a team player, then you have to decide. I told you this is where this was going to go. then you have to decide if this is the right place for you. They're telling you, shut up. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. So they're giving you the answer. We don't care. Either deal with it or quit. Find another job. They're telling you this is how they're running their business. You're not going to change the narcissist, whether it's in your personal life or in your work life, especially in a corporation. When I've done nothing but actually give a shit about this guy's business, and my concerns are valid, as he could lose his ability to operate this company if she doesn't get up to the company standards ASAP. His problem. His problem. And I understand it's your job, and if you're out of it, you can't tell me there's not in other coffee shops if that's what you like doing. No. It's not your business, it's his business. If he's going to run it into the ground, let him run it into the ground. You don't got to stay there with him. You're getting every red flag to get out of there that you possibly can, up to and including him telling you nothing's changing. He's telling you nothing's going to change. You got to find another job. You think you're going to take on a corporation, you just working in a coffee shop staff person? I worked for corporations for too long. They're behemoths. It's like dealing with the government. It's exactly like dealing with the government. It's just mind-boggling how they can convince a person to not even look up their numbers or even dig a little deeper. Because if he did those things, he would certainly find it. I'm at a loss, but I need this job right now, at least through the winter or until I can find a replacement. You don't have to find a replacement for your job. You find a new job and then you give them 2 weeks. That's it. That's not your job. Stop taking on responsibility that isn't yours. But basically, I feel like I'm supposed to do her job for her and not ask questions, or if I do, I should reconsider my role as a team player and step down as supervisor. Given that all he's lost, given that he's lost all his staff at this location to his new store he opened, and now has only 2 full-time employees, me and another guy, who go way beyond our call of duty, I feel like he's playing bluff with me and bullying me into feeling like I'm replaceable, which everyone is replaceable to some extent, but he won't be finding anyone who would take on managerial tasks for a supervisor wage off the bat, and she would be forced to train someone which she is incapable of doing her actual job. He knows he would be fucked if I stepped down or left. If I could, I'd call his bluff. Anyways, your advice and commentary would be a relief at this point. I was triggered after the meeting, and given that us abuse victims seem to fucking find these people everywhere we go, I had a complete meltdown after our meeting and felt nauseous and pissed off ever since. So any comedic relief would be helpful at this point, especially your hard sarcasm. Love the work you're doing for us all. Go Team Resistance. Anonymous. You know, there's not really a lot I could say on this. You know, you're working for a corporation. Corporations don't care. Corporations don't care. You're just a replaceable part. And once you start squeaking, it's easier to replace you. He's telling you he don't care. He's telling you you don't care. It's not your job to find him a replacement. It's your job to be happy somewhere. So if that means you got to go find another job, find another job. You can call his bluff by letting him know, well, I'm looking for another. As soon as I find another job, you'll have my 2 weeks. That's how you call your bluff, call his bluff without actually quitting. Because if he fires you on that point, at that point, then he's got to pay you unemployment. Then he fired you because you said you were looking for another job. That's fired without, you collect unemployment for that. So That's how you call his bluff. And then you find out what they really mean. I mean, at Macy's, I would threaten to quit like every 2 years. Whoa, wait, what do you, okay, wait, what do you want? What's up? No, don't fucking what's up, me. What do you want? I'll give you 10,000. No. That's how the game's played in corporate management. Your corporate staff, like staff levels, so supervisor level in a store, to them you're completely expendable. That's the reality of it. You're just going to be sometimes you're just always going to be expendable to the narcissist. So what you got to do is make yourself not expendable by leaving. Corporations are behemoths, they're heartless, and they're stupid. And the most frustrating part about working for them is they have so much power and they're so stupid and they just don't realize it. A lot of them succeed in spite of their incompetence because they're selling coffee. It's impossible. Sometimes it's nearly impossible to fail. That's why corporations get away with what they do. A lot of them have been bailed out by the government. We won't even get into that. But your options are very simple. I mean, you're working a retail job. You're stressing yourself out, and the only answer is you're going to have to find another place. You just are. And if you're looking to call his bluff right now in the safest possible way, I would just make it clear without telling them you're quitting on the spot. Say, you know, I'm looking for something else because I don't think this is a great spot for me. And I would leave it at that. So I hope that helps. Thank you to Catherine for sponsoring. Thank you, Anonymous, for sending in your story. I appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, or a Facebook live chat, or you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to make sure it keeps succeeding, growing, and expanding, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you, this all goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been the Narcissistic Resistance.